Hey, welcome back to Your Anime Senpais. I'm Richard.
And I'm John.
And today we're going to be reviewing Index Season 3, Episodes 1 and 2, as well as
Zombieland Saga Episode 2.
Alright, and just a reminder, these are spoilers, so if you've not seen these episodes, go ahead and stop this video, watch those episodes, and come on back. So let's go ahead and get started. So, alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start off first. But before I go into Index, I just want to make an announcement. I've mentioned before in the preview episode for the fall season, as well as our last week's episode, that Gakuen Basara, like I've been kind of on the fence as to whether or not I'm going to watch it. I did watch the first episode, but I wasn't sure if I was going to continue on with it. So I'm going to go ahead and officially announce now that I will be dropping Gakuen Basara. It's not really for me. If it's something that you enjoy, by all means, go ahead and watch it. Like I'm not telling you that you're wrong or anything. It's not something that I'm too particularly interested in. So, but it's in its stead, I'm going to go ahead and review Index Season 3. So I've got Episode 1 and 2 to go through. So let's go ahead and get started with that. So Episode 1 kind of starts off very lighthearted. We get reintroduced to a bunch of different characters, including Toma, the main character, who is quite misfortunate. He just runs into a bunch of bad luck. But we also get reintroduced to his power, which is Imagine Breaker. He uses that to basically, so say if like he encounters with someone with special powers, be an ESPer or whatever, like he can cancel out their powers with his right hand as long as he touches them or touches whatever it is that they're using. The drawback to that though is like, say for example, if it's somebody like Magneto from X-Men, like if he throws like a boat at Toma, like so he can touch the boat, which now Magneto can't manipulate that boat, but it's still being thrown at Toma, so that force
that inertia or whatever.
Yeah. So the law of physics still applies. So he's still got to watch out for that. So, in any case, so yeah, we get reintroduced to him, all these other different characters from this world. I kind of wish that it would have gone back and did a little bit of last season and just showed like, oh, hey, this is what happened last time. Just kind of remind us, refresh us on these things, but didn't really do that. So I was kind of disappointed with that. But in any case, so yeah, we see Toma. He's just walking around. He eventually meets up with Index, who funny enough, says something along the lines of, "Toma, you've been gone so long. Like, I didn't think you'd ever come back," which is kind of sort of a nod to the fans because it's been so long since we've seen anything from Index, that whole series, that we never thought we'd ever see anything ever from that ever again. So it's kind of funny. But in any case, but yeah, like I said, it's all very lighthearted stuff happens, and then towards maybe the last quarter of the episode, things start getting serious. You have this old lady that's talking to Toma. She's telling him that there's a lot of tensions going on right now between Academy City and the churches, and Toma and his Imagine Breaker might be the key of solving this. So, but before she can get too much further, she gets shot and she dies.
Oh.
And Toma is now being whisked away to France. Which is another kind of a gripe for me too, because here we are getting to a new season, getting reintroduced to these characters, and now Toma, the main character, is being completely removed, and so now we don't know. These other characters probably won't be in.
Oh,
at least for
different.
Yeah, at least for these first few episodes, probably that we're probably not going to see much of them anymore. So. But anyways, that's where episode 1 starts. Episode 2 begins with Toma. He's now in France. He kind of gets just dropped in France. He's parachuting into France essentially.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So, but he meets up with one of his older acquaintances from the previous seasons, who I kind of barely remember, which is kind of why I wish the first episode kind of went more into that. Like, oh, hey, these are all the different people that you may not remember. So I kind of remember her, but I don't remember what her backstory is per se. But so they're working with each other. They're trying to stop what is called the Document of Charlemagne, which, as far as I can tell, isn't actually a thing, but supposedly it was something that Charlemagne signed in this world where, like, the Pope has full control over certain territories, including France. So, but on top of this, it also has some sort of magic power to rewrite reality or something, where even if it doesn't make any sense, like it can be used to like cause people to believe a certain thing or whatever. So and it's believed, at least by Toma and this girl, that this document is being used to create tensions between Academy City and the church. So they got to work to stop this. Well, in the middle of trying to do all this, they run into what is called the Right Hand of God, which is basically a group, but just they run into one member of this group, and he's basically trying to stop them. And so Toma is having some problems because this guy, he can like take either ash or sand or something, and he can manipulate that into weapons, and he throws that weapons at Toma. And again, Toma can like stretch out his hand and dispel that, but the inertia is still there. The force is still there, so he's still feeling that. He's being knocked back, and it's still hurting him. So yeah, the episode kind of ends with him trying to figure out how he's going to deal with that. So pretty interesting episodes, both 1 and 2. Again, I kind of just wish they would have gone back and kind of remind us, even just take like 5-10 minutes maybe, if that, to kind of remind us like, oh, this is what happened last season. Or
last season, what was it, 10? Whatever, years ago?
About 5 to 8 years ago, something along those lines.
Yeah,
it's like this is what happened. Just a kind of a brief thing, and then maybe even show like the girl, like what her. I remember her being kind of attracted to Toma at that time, like but she was only like for one. She was in there for like one arc, like a couple seasons ago. So it's like I kind of remember her, but I don't remember what her deal was. So. But in any case, but otherwise, it was nice to be back in this world again. Nice to see Academy City and all these different characters again. So it was a pretty nice feeling. But in any case, that's it for
Sounds
Index.
Good,
yeah. But
all right, so yeah, I'm going to be doing a review for Zombieland Saga, episode 2, and I have to say right off the bat that it wasn't as good as episode 1.
Oh, really?
Episode 1 kind of got me into it. It was like, whoa, this is going to be something, new, fun, and interesting, and it was different. So we started off with the fact that all but one of the girls are awakened now from their zombie mode or whatever they're in. So cuts right into the opening, which we're now seeing for the first time, and we're treated to dancing zombies, Power Ranger-esque scenes of the girls from the Pop Idol group fighting zombie lobsters. So anyway, it's
pretty random. Sounds like
random, colorful. Then they have these like random scenes where it's kind of dark and just kind of I don't know, it just changes tone all over the place, and I think it had a pop song kind of going to it anyway. So whatever. So anyway, it starts off with, and the main kind of focus at the beginning is the fact that the girls are dealing with the fact that they're coming to the realization that they are dead, and that they're actually back as zombies. So they're having a hard time with this, and the manager that's over the idol group basically, he's like, well, just deal with it. You're zombies. Don't worry about it. And the smartest thing you can do, the key thing, is to keep it to yourself. Don't let other people know, because and at this time he pulls out a TV and it's got scenes from like a Walking Dead or just anything else where zombies are gruesomely killed, and it says this is basically what happens if you let people know that you're a zombie. So it's in your best interest. So most of them are convinced. Of course, some of them are not. They go, I guess, for days or whatever amount of time preparing new dance numbers, and a couple of them are just like, I'm not having this. They sneak out one night. 3 of them do, and they're gonna go explore this new world. And the next thing that kind of stands out was the fact that they run into these rapping hoodlums in a dark alleyway. So they're being slowly pursued while being rapped to, I guess, to flirt with them. And while this is all going on, it's kind of funny, kind of silly. Down another alleyway, the police officer from the first episode appears, and we're like, oh great, it's this guy. So he confronts the hoodlums, and he's like, what are you guys doing? Leave these girls alone or whatever. And of course, the girls at that time walk under a convenient spotlight or whatever, street lamp, and it's revealed they're all zombies. The hoodlums and the police officer freak out, and they're like, oh no, and the police officer's like, not again. So they run off, and they're just left there terrified. But anyway, it's a silly show. So the next thing is the fact that they have another performance, which basically starts off with the fact that none of them really want to do this idol performance. They only the main girl from the first episode is the only one up there actually doing the routine, trying to start to get the song started. The rest of them are just doing random whatever they want up on the stage. So eventually the main girl kind of gets frustrated with the one that's actually kind of leading the
she's the one that's instigating
the one that's instigating all the disruptions to the show. Mm-hmm. So they have a confrontation. The insults that are kind of hurled back and forth conveniently start turning into raps. Okay. The manager, he kind of sneaks around to the side. He starts, beatboxing and has, microphone up there too. So he's like, everyone can hear it. And all of a sudden, the girls react, I guess, to the music with their insults, and they have an epic rap battle. So all the other girls, they want to join in. They start, making random noises and sounds, getting the audience all worked up, and it ends with a rap battle between the two that finally comes to an end. And they turn, and the crowd of older people that they're performing in front of love it.
Oh,
so
it's kind of like the previous episode where the death metal people were just like, "Oh, this is great."
Yeah. Like some of the death metal people actually followed them to this.
Oh,
because they were like, "Oh, we're gonna see more," and then they switched it up, and they're like, "What?
Yeah,
what is this?" So I don't know. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, it's not as good as the first one. I had a few laughs out of it, but it might be one I just eventually just drop off from watching every week. So that's my review for that, and we're gonna have more reviews coming for you. So I really appreciate you guys if you keep watching, and
we'll see you next time.
Yeah,
thanks again. Hey guys, thanks again for watching our video. Be sure to like and subscribe. And what was that other thing to do?
And maybe look at that little bell beside the notification bell and click it.
Yeah.
And you'll be notified every time we post videos throughout the week. Should be multiple times. So love for you to keep up with us.
Yep. Thanks again.
Mm-hmm.